Broadcasting from Hollywood, it's the official On Air with Brandon J podcast. Here we go.
Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome to On Air with Brandon J. I'm Brandon, and I got a special guest, actor, activist, humanitarian, philanthropist, producer, Mr. Darris Love. Darris, what's up, man? How are you?
Blessed and highly favored, brother BJ, Brandon J. I thank you so much. Big shout out, Angel, our PR, the true angel in this PR business of Hollywood.
Man, we gotta give Miss Angel a shout out because she is one of the hardest working people in the business, period. And a true story. Angel is the reason I got to meet Michael Jackson's dad, Joe Jackson.
Yo, you told me about that, and
yeah,
I'm really
me and Angel go back. You know, we're like family.
Come on, man.
From other mothers and fathers.
So, hey, BJ, speaking of, we go back. We crossed paths a couple times in one church.
I mean, come on, man. PT. Hello, somebody. Pastor Touhey. That's what I'm talking about. Yeah,
yes,
man.
And the whole One Church family. Shout out.
Yeah, man. Shout out to everybody out there, man. It's great to see you, man. I know you got a lot coming up, but I want to talk about something, right? So Angel hit me up and she's like, you gotta interview Darris. And I was like, well, what's going on with Darris? Darris is fighting as a celebrity boxer. Tell us who you're going to be fighting at Unity Day in Pomona on July 4th.
Yes, Unity Day, LA, July 4th at the Pomona Fair Place ground. It is over 500,000. It's the biggest fireworks show in the nation of the United States. It's over $500,000 worth of fireworks.
Wow.
Lakeside is confirmed. Ray J's confirmed. Jacquees is confirmed. Also, with it being in Pomona, the whole Sugar Shane family, Sugar Shane's dad, Jack Mosley, biggest trainer in Pomona. Sugar Shane is going to be there. Sean Porter is hosting. Kenny Porter, his dad is a good friend of mine. And Floyd Mayweather's dad is being honored because it's all to honor Harriet Tubman's Memorial Church in Canada. It was the last stop on the Underground Railroad, Jay.
That's amazing.
Yeah, Ray Adamark. What's even more amazing is that Ray Adamark and the whole Adamark family, they are historians. They're architect and they're architecture developers that goes to national historic landmarks and they restore them. And one day he woke up out of a dream and he had this word stuck in his head, racial reconciliation. He went the next night to an event that his friend was throwing, and the honoree was speaking of Harriet Tubman and her life and her story. And within her story, the word racial, in her story, the word racial reconciliation had what he had dreamed about the night before was part of the topic. He then goes home that night and researches that the Salem Chapel, the last stop on the Underground Railroad, this 300-year-old church, is in his hometown where he grew up. And he's the number one architect historian, like that restores historic landmarks. So he put money out of his pocket to throw Unity Day LA. We're raising $3 million to restore Harriet Tubman's church. And my job is to box Aaron Carter, Nick Carter's brother from Backstreet Boys, for this whole thing.
Now, I'm not gonna lie, it's kind of comical when you not about the event and the overall message and meaning behind the fundraising, but you boxing Aaron Carter. Wasn't Aaron Carter just in the ring not too long ago?
Yeah, he was in the ring with Lamar Odom, and a big shout out Lamar Odom and Aaron Carter. Let me tell you what I love about AC, man. He's got a big heart for a little guy. And
absolutely.
You cannot lose when you're coming from the right place, and his heart is in the right place. So we're gonna spar, have some fun. I'm not trying to break him off, hurt him, or anything like that. You know, I'm looking for guys that are real serious with the celebrity boxing.
Right.
What got me involved is that it's for a cause. It's not about the fame or fortune. You know, it's about us being able to leverage our influence to make a difference with purpose. Not perception.
Absolutely. It's all about purpose. And man, I commend you in all of the efforts of everybody, Angel and everybody involved. And I saw that a good friend of mine, Victor Ortiz, he's one of the commentators for the event. So shout out to you, Victor. And it's always good because I mean, anybody knows how
he's
to
taking
box.
all the acting jobs from us, Brandon. He's taking all our acting jobs, man.
I know, man. He's killing it, man. He's killing it. So, you know, Darris, what are you working on? I mean, you know, you got this event coming up on July 4th, but you told me that you are in the process of writing a book.
Yes.
Tell us about that book.
Man, I've been working on the book ever since I had a kind of like a George Floyd incident happen to me. You saw me on TMZ. It was about 50 police officers pull guns out, put the neck to the knee, drawn to the ground. But guess what? It was one of the most, I think, life-changing situations in my life. Right. 3 black suspects got into a high-speed chase all the way from Encino to Glendale, and I happened to be shopping in Glendale at the time, and I had a Nipsey Hussle black hoodie on, and the 3 black suspects got away, and I was probably the only other black guy in Glendale, so they grabbed me.
That's
so I totally
crazy,
understood.
man.
Yeah, but you know what? I totally understood the scenario. I think what happens is we personally, when we take things personal, and we don't look at the bigger picture, which is why my productions company is called Bigger Picture Productions. And I live with that mantra, which is if 3 black suspects got out and I'm a police officer and I see a black guy and he's the only black guy there, I'm going to have to interrogate him. So this is where I think the protection came in for me, because there was no resistance, there was no argument, and more importantly, I understood. Right. I understood the perspective of the police officers, which is why I believe God put me in this situation. But a long story short, I was writing this book called The Death of Masculinity, right? And the Reign of Femininity. And what I've been noticing is when you speak in truth and you stand boldly, you're killed or you're emasculated. Or
they're not trying to hear that, Darris,
No,
they're not trying to hear that at all.
No, and I want to come from a place that's non-threatening. I want to come from a place where Johnny Depp is coming from, right? Where man can be abused, where man can be taken advantage of, where man don't have that right. And I feel as a black male, everybody else is benefiting from our plight and fight but us. And so, it's like every other organization, every other nation can get their respect and due but us, because we're a threat. And I'm here to let everybody know I'm here to Darris with love. And I come from Watts. I come from Compton. I was the first black on Nickelodeon. And if there's anybody that could be used as an example of change, it's myself, which is why I received a $10,000 settlement from the police officers. And I created the Love the Civilian app. And what that is like a curriculum like Dare to Keep Kids Off of Drugs, where the police officers and the civilians can relive the Sandra Bland, Trayvon Martin, George Floyd incidents, but we can reenact them as actors and narrate what went good and what went bad and build that love for the civilian and the respect for the police officers. Turn these police officers from gladiators into guardians again. And then when you leave this curriculum, you leave with a card that's on the back of your ID that states that you've been through learning the section code. You get a section code book. You get how to go through a reenactment with police officers. Hey, don't be aggressive. Don't be a big mouth and shooting off when officers have a job to do. Their life is on the line. And where did I learn that? I learned that because I sat in the back of the police car during this incident, and I heard for 4 hours our reality: murders, jackings, kidnappings, rapings. And I felt sorry for the police officers, to a point to where I went and created this app called Love the Civilian with a curriculum. And the second part of the app is the police officers get to use the VR, and we get to go do simulations. And then if they're not operating in emotional intelligence, then the actual gun won't fire, backed by the body cam, backed by a civilian.
That's amazing.
Civilians.
Man, kudos on that. Isn't it amazing how you go through a life-changing experience and innovation will be created and birthed through your experience?
That's the whole point of this story, because the police officers gave me $10,000 and said, we never heard anyone go and represent us at a Johnny Cochran press conference and say, you know what? All lives matter. It's not about just Black lives matter. These police lives matter. If I was a police officer with a gun going into the reality of our world, I'm shooting first, asking questions last. I said, the system is broken. I said, these guys are desensitized. They don't have a break to become back humanized and understand that we are all humans trying to make the best of this crazy world.
Yeah, I mean, and that's the thing. Like you said it best. Most people in that kind of situation, predicament, scenario, they're going to react from an emotional response. And when the emotions get into it, that's what creates the additional drama and per se chaos, right? It's when you are rational and you're like, okay, let me put myself in this other individual's shoes. Because I promise you, I've been pulled over in Burbank. I've been pulled over in Los Angeles. I mean, I'm talking like pulling out of the because talking on the phone, holding the phone in your hand, it doesn't matter who you are. Nobody's exempt from the law. And versus me running my mouth and acting a fool on something, I'm like, yeah. My apologies, officer. And let's just get it over with. You know what I mean? Because I know
It was
I was
that
wrong.
simple. It was that simple.
Right.
And see, and that's where the Love the Civilian curriculum, back with the tech and the app, allows for the police officers to have a bridge of communication, and allows for the civilian to have that communication. And then more importantly, leave with a curriculum showing that you passed. So when you get pulled over by a police officer, you look on the back of your ID and it says, hey, you went through the Love the Civilian curriculum? Yeah, I'm not here to give police officers a pain in the ass. I'm a good guy.
Right.
I've been vetted out. I went through the programming. I now understand police officer's side. You understand my side. Now that process should go a lot more smoother. We understand section code. I was wrong. You know what I mean? This is the mentality we have to take to help these guys who are every 5 seconds running into a world of police shootings and killings in grocery stores and school shootings and murders and molestation.
It's amazing to see what a police officer, especially in a major metropolitan city like Los Angeles, right? Because Glendale isn't LA, but Glendale is a part of LA. So being in Los Angeles County, right, they go through so much stuff that it would make my head swim. It give me a migraine just trying to think about it all. So, kudos to
and then take the badge off of these guys. Take the uniform off. What are they? Our brothers, our fathers, our uncles, our cousins?
Right.
My father's a fireman. Right? They don't have a gun or a badge. The firemen get treated the worst, and they go in the worst situations to save your life.
I know.
I think we all, as humans, need to be humanized and realize that take the emotions out. Like you said, look at it from each other's perspective before our own, so that we're not emotionally triggered.
Man, I'm just going to throw my hands up and be like, Yahweh, Yeshua, cover me under this circumstance. Give me the grace to endure this foolishness, what I've got to go through, right? Because a lot of it sometimes is foolishness. Like, and you and I both know this, but the way you handled it, I commend you. I think if anybody can hear this episode of On Air with Brandon J, Darris Love is a prime example of what exemplifies the right response, the right way to interact with law enforcement. And it doesn't matter if you're guilty or you're innocent, right? Technically, you're innocent until proven guilty in the court of law anyway. And so take that into consideration. Okay, yes, officer, how can I help you today? And not be like, yo, what you bothering me for? Why y'all gotta pull me over? Those things create animosity, and you don't know if these people woke up on the wrong side of the bed. They're having a bad day. The girl left them, whatever it is, because a lot of these people are going through everyday
human experience,
just like you and I.
Yes, and you know what's great is we just did the George Floyd, coming off the 2nd anniversary death of George Floyd, and we had a celebration here in Bel Air with the George Floyd family, and I was able to expound on this solution versus just a conversation about a problem. And now I became
you got a solution to the problem.
Yes, and now we are partnering up with a company that has over 500 tablets into the prisoners within jail, and they wanted our curriculum and our channel, the Global Good News Network, to display this Love the Civilian curriculum through these 500 tablets. And we announced that at the George Floyd family
That's
brunch
amazing.
that I hosted just this past Sunday. So it's all coming to fruition, and you're the first On Air with Brandon J to get this exclusive. And I wanted to share with my brother from another mother, because it's not about color, right? God is going to judge us based on our heart and the actions that we do when it comes towards one another. Just as there was slavery, there were those that helped us get out of slavery. So we have to remember that this is a human experience, and it's about us coming together and remembering who we are as the human family.
What a question for you, Darris. Where can someone go to download the app? Is it in the Apple App Store?
No, it's not out. It's not out right now. What I did was, first I wanted to go to different police departments and get them on as a licensing and be able to troubleshoot all of because what we're doing is we're building a simulation on the app side for the police officers to go into a live virtual room, and we restage and reenact the Sandra Bland, Trayvon Martin.
Oh, come on, man. They're going into the metaverse?
They're going into a metaverse, and this is where we can now take the algorithm built off of their emotional intelligence. And if it feels that they're operating where they're triggered from emotions or they're not in a stable state, then what happens is the camera back to the retina of the gun on the finger of the trigger, the signal will go to the human civilian crew that's covering the police's back that's watching on the camera. And it will say, hey, alert, police officer's emotional intelligence. His heart rate is up. It's a little high. Now the camera turns on, the civilian crew watches, and they're able to determine for the police officer's sake and for the safety of the civilian's sake. And that's why it's called Love the Civilian curriculum. We want to get these officers back to a point to where they're not gladiators, but they're guardians.
That's amazing. My mind is already thinking. I'm like, oh, I got some people I can connect you with directly that have been on A&E live PD and stuff like that. But moving, and I'll share that with you off the show, right?
Yes, sir.
Moving on to my next question, Darris, what advice do you have for those out there? COVID, and I hear this so many times each week, COVID has delayed everything. People haven't received the PPE funding that they were supposed to receive. Shows got canceled. Jobs and auditions got canceled. What advice do you have for those out there that are like, they've got the talent, right? They know, like, for example, I'm a natural born actor or actress. How do I get my foot in the door when everything came to a halt?
I'm so glad you said that. You cannot be afraid to reinvent. And I think what happens is because we get fame and fortune and it comes so quickly, not easily, it comes quickly, that we take it for granted that it's going to keep coming. And what I learned for 30 years of consistency of being in front of the camera and behind the camera is that you have to reinvent yourself and you have to go after the things that you're most passionate about, but more importantly, your purpose. See, when you're operating and you align with the divine and your purpose, it doesn't matter how much money you're being paid. It doesn't matter how much, what position you are on the call sheet. What matters is that you're fulfilled, and you only will be fulfilled if you go after what you're created for. And that's why I teach, especially after what happened during Corona, to align with the divine and go after your purpose, not your perception. No one remembers what you wore, what you drove. They only remember how you made them feel. So one thing I learned in this time of Corona and the pandemic is that you have to first go back to those you wronged so that you can get right within yourself, because your enemy is your enemy, and everyone's enemy is their enemy. Right. And once you are able to be truthful about yourself and be able to take accountability for yourself, then you'll have much more clarity on being able to say, this is my strength, this is my weakness. And then you build from that. And most importantly, always be able to create a network by having great, what I call people skills, meaning don't shit on someone because they can't help you currently. You don't know where your life is going to go or what they can do. Always shake hands and keep friends. And what's kept me in a position in many different fields is that I was always Darris Love. I'm here to Darris for love, shaking hands and keeping friends, taking business numbers, following up with people. Because Magic Johnson was my business manager, and he taught me my net worth is my net worth. And I always made my no as powerful as my yes. And so I was able to make a living just on connecting people, just on being a consultant, just on people that want to know this director or want to know this actor or want to get in this room and meet this person. And from me being a person, I looked over 30 years and I had everybody's number when someone wants to meet this guy or meet this guy. And I make a living just on connecting people. And sometimes
you're resourceful. What more can you say? You're resourceful.
Right. It's like, and it's simple to be resourceful, because if you understand being in LA, which is the biggest Shark Tank and melting pot of all melting pots, 90% of the hardest part of the job is just being there. We're already here.
Right.
So everybody you need of every industry is literally, you're going to see their face one day. Are you prepared? What are you going to say?
Preparation meets opportunity equals a successful outcome. That's
Boom.
what it is.
Give me some virtual, boom, fist bump, baby. Give me some. Give me some, Jay.
Darris, where can people at home go to follow you and everything you got going on social media?
It's very simple. Darris Love, DARRIS_love. And then most importantly, Bigger Picture Productions on our YouTube channel. We changed that from The Truth About Tupac to the Bigger Picture Productions. We were working in YouTube for 10 years after training to play Tupac. And we started teaching influencers how to do short form content to long form content. So again, to answer your question, Brandon J, everyone can follow Darris Love on IG, Facebook, Instagram under Darris Love, DARRIS_love, LOVE. Here to Darris with Love, or Bigger Picture Productions on YouTube.
Darris, I appreciate you, man. And I am looking forward to seeing the outcome of Mr. Darris Love versus Aaron Carter on July 4th, Unity Day, LA. Darris, as always, keep it real, my friend. Congrats on everything. I'm looking forward to seeing what you do with the app, reading the book, and I will talk to you very soon.
I just want to say again to you, Brandon J, thank you, brother, and to see and witness the blossom in your awesome and to see the trajectory of where you're going, brother. Let's keep making history. The money's going to come. Thank you for this on-air opportunity with Brandon J, the top podcast. Please, guys, subscribe and follow this brother. He's really opening the door for so many people like you. Hopefully one day you could be on the show too. Love you guys.
Thank you so much, man. I will talk to you soon. I'm Brandon, on air with Brandon J. A song that I feel when I heard about Darris, a story and things of that nature, I thought about this song, Alexis Marrero, Are You Strong Enough, right here on air with Brandon J.
Love you, B. Let's go.
Hi, this is Brandon, and you are tuning in to On Air with Brandon J right here on iHeartRadio.
I've always been told that time moves fast, not slow, big and vast and bold. Tell me, where do the memories go, hiding in the chambers of our heart beats again. And so they said that good things just take time, but how long must we wait? Is love something that we can find, hiding in the chambers of our heart beat again? I know that we'll find it, just give it one more day. I know that you're strong enough to wait, strong enough to wait. I know that we'll find it, just give it one more day. I know that you're strong enough to wait. Are you strong enough? Are you strong enough? Are you strong enough? They say that joy is in the day-to-day. That's where I go to look. I'm holding tight before it fades, hiding in the chambers of my heart beat again. I know that we'll find it, just give it one more day. I know that you're strong enough to wait, strong enough to wait. I know that we'll find it, just give it one more day. I know that you're strong enough to wait. Are you strong enough? Are you strong enough? Are you strong enough? Are you strong enough? that you're strong enough to wait. Strong enough to wait. I know that we'll find it.
If you have not followed me on social media, make sure you follow me on all social media at I am Brandon J. And if we are not connected on YouTube, make sure you subscribe to my YouTube channel, youtube.com/Brandon J. Each episode, we're going to feature brand new content with purpose behind it. News from Hollywood, execs, artists, talent, entertainment news, you name it, all things Hollywood right here on Air with Brandon J.